Right, a lot of people keep asking me about Shred Fast and what weights to start with. So I started with 12 kilos originally, and I was doing the 30-minute exercises 5 times a week. I'm racked up 30 hours on that, and then I decided to switch to 16 kilos, which I'm using here, and I do the 45-minute workouts. Remember, it's not about ego lifting. A lot of the movements are very different from what your traditional gym stuff would be, so it's all about just easing in nice and slowly. Alright, I need a banana, I need some yogurt, I need some berries, I need a bowl, I need a spoon, and we're going to make some breakfast. What's happening, people? How are we doing? Happy October, happy Q4. Let's start our day. Breakfast, electrolytes, charts. I got a busy morning today. I've got a Discord call in a moment, and then I'm off to London. Also, while I'm here, I'm going to request my payout from Darwinex. Remember the Darwinex we started for YouTube in February, I think it was? It's got a payout due. Nothing mental, but it probably covers Darwinex for the year. Obviously, we bought the allocation, which we bought in the middle of July. We bought the 100k into the allocation. So yeah, I'm going to withdraw that now. The process is pretty straightforward. Obviously, I'm not going to show that part because you see a lot of like my details, but if you're a business, you need to upload like business documentation to go to the next phase. If you're just doing it as you as an individual, sole trader, you just do usual KYC stuff, upload your ID, upload your details, select your withdrawal method, job done. Obviously, this is the first withdrawal on this account since starting it. So I just need to do these next steps now. And then the payout will probably hit my account next week, which I'll just chuck in next week's vlog. If you're not on Darwinex yet, honestly, just get started. It's so many of you in the comments lately have said how much it's changed your trading because you're not focusing on specific targets or rules. You're just able to trade and you're actually starting to see your P&L growing, etc. They also won an award literally a couple of weeks ago at a prop trading awards event for the best risk management and trader evaluation, which, you know what, I think that's sick. There's no crazy rules to catch you out or do anything, and I know a lot of people try and say it's not for them and all that sort of shit, but honestly, if you're not on it, get started. You can even save yourself a bit of dough with Albert_20. I'll put a QR code here. You can click on that, take you straight to it. Just get going. Fresh new journal for a new quarter, ready to go. Whoa, let's go. Happy days. If you aren't journaling, people, if you fell off, if you think you've completed it, that is ego, and that is a one-way ticket to getting nowhere. It ain't difficult. Pen, paper, write down your thoughts, your feelings. I'll tell you what, yeah, for Q4, if you're someone that hasn't done it, if you write down all your thoughts and feelings before, during, and after trades, things that go through your head, why are you feeling a certain way, why are you agitated when you're in that trade, why did you just revenge trade for no reason, why did you chase that loss back, why did you enter a news trade, why did you try and rush, why did you increase your risk, why is your heart rate increasing, why have you got butterflies in your belly like you've seen your first crush. Like, when you start to understand all that sort of stuff, that's how you start to piece together like where needs attention and where you can work on. Too many people refuse that, but if I was telling you to do that about charts, and if you measured every single candle with a ruler, and if they're all 20 pips and you should do this and do that, people would put the time in on that. But when it comes to this, people don't care. That's why most people don't get anywhere. This is a weapon. Use it properly. Otherwise, it'll just go against you. If you can develop an edge and you can work on yourself, your only real job is to execute that edge, not get in the way, not intervene, and in theory, that's profitability, which equals source. Like, that's it. That is genuinely the source, right? The issue is people think that it can't be like that. It's got to be something else. I've got to intervene. I've got to have control. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. I don't like feeling like I'm in drawdown. I don't like the losing streak. I don't like how it's making me feel. So they change. Every time you change, if we were to keep changing these things, changing these stats, if I was adjusting these stats, this equity graph would always look different. So what you've got to really ask yourself, again, is are you actually letting the edge you developed play? It's very easy to know. It's very easy to look at. And this is where, again, things like your journal, things like performance gaps, and things like these calls we're about to have, this is the sort of stuff I want to be able to go over with you all. If you're on Edgewonk, I want to run a simulation on our call and be like, right, let's run one. Let's see what's going on. Come and check out a new bakery that's opened in Victoria. I have to say, it's pretty decent, to be fair. Nice little vibe, somewhere to chill. 60 degrees if you're local. Check it out. In and out here, just got wicked out before the move, is what it is. It's busy today in London, isn't it? Nearly left me door key in the car, mate. That would have been a long day, you know. Right, we're coming to get some munch at this gaff.
More closer to 245.
245, right. Another burger review, because why not? This is Junk Smash. It's meant to be pretty good. Saw them in Paris as well. Gone for the truffle burger. We got it cut in half, so there's my half. It looks pretty naughty, to be fair. It's a bit small, but see. It's a good burger. It's a lot greasier, a lot heavier with the truffle. I give it an 8.
I like the texture. It's got a good crunch to it. But it is, I guess it is what you asked for. It's a truffle,
burger, isn't it? Yeah, it's what you get.
Taste of truffle.
Right, I'll be coming back here later because Steph wants me to pick up one of these. Had this in Rome and it was a 10 out of 10. So, right, I got a text saying our table's ready at this gaff. So we're going to go and see what's going on. It's a 4-star on Google though, so it can't be bad. And it looks busy. But is it one of them hype gaffs? I might go for the juji kebab. Boneless chicken, breast marinated in saffron, lemon, yogurt, tomato, and get some of that sangak bread, which looks banging. One thing, we're outside, it's alright, not the comfiest chair, but this shit's got to stop in London, yeah. This 200ml Coke, it shouldn't be a thing, mate. It's shit. Right, this is hummus, chocolate mousse. I'm joking, it's just hummus, and then there's the bread. Tastes like chocolate mousse dessert.
Like cream cheese mixed with chocolate and walnut. That's getting a 2 from Big Sean.
Butter, that jazz, with the chicken, yogurt, sauce. It's all going off, bro.
You're gonna have a croissant.
I'll have a croissant.
You might have a grab.
Yeah, cool.
Grab pork, bro, that is tender.
Bro, that's nice. Very nice. Chicken's good.
Chicken, yeah, I'm going for the chicken, I think. What's this other one over here? That's the lamb.
That's croissant.
That's the croissant. Is fish?
Chicken.
Chicken as well.
Baby young chicken.
Right, so they actually picked up on the camera and they decided to bring this out on the house. Good spot, I'd check it out if you want some quick food. But try and get a seat indoors because outside seating is very uncomfy on the old gluteus maximus. Unless you've got a big ass. I need to make sure I get Steph a sandwich before I head home. What are we saying about these crepes, people? They're looking fire. So obviously they don't have the same sandwiches as they have in Rome and Florence. But they did have this one called the Londoner, which Steph wanted. I'm not being negative, but I can already tell just by the vibe and the level of detail here, it's not the same, which is a little bit of a shame. I'm not eating mine yet, I'm not that hungry. Sean's eating his and he's a bit disappointed. We were just chatting to a couple of people outside the shop. One of them just decided to subscribe to me. So if you're watching this, shout out you in it. It was cool to chat. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like obviously when you've been to the one in Rome, like the actual where it's comes from, they're just a lot nicer, a lot more bubbly, a lot more happier. The food looks fresher. The bread looks better. In there then, it was like a morgue or something. They weren't very friendly, weren't very nice. We went in there to try and like order. No one said anything to us. Then they ushered us to the front door, just like aired us for a bit. It's just a shame, because when you've got a big brand like that, they clearly care, like family run business and whatnot, clearly care about the food and they do good food. And I just feel like they come to London and do it bad. It's a bit of a shame, innit? Like there's a lot of queues. And if luckily we just walked straight in, but if I'd queued an hour for what I look like I've just got, I'd be gutted. Like, I'd rather get a plane to Rome or Florence.
It's 2 people.
And get one there than come here. And London's like 30 minutes away from me, so. We'll do the proper review when I'm home, because Steph, she dreams about this sandwich from the last time she had one in Rome. So she'll let you know if it's good or not. Right, they do look good. This is the Londoner. And then this one is La Mama, which is burrata, ham, courgette, roast potato cream. Right, me, I had friends round, and now I'm watching the Arsenal game. And we're sitting down, and we're going to try it. We've halved and halved.
Yeah, I got conned out of my sandwich.
Now...
Right, it's good. You can't say it's not.
Is it as good as the brown one?
One thing I will say is the bread is a lot more saltier.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello.
Do you have fun with your pals?
Yes. As good as the brown one.
No, but it is good.
It's not worth criticising like people are.
No.
But in the shop, they're not as fun. They're not as happy. They're not as vibey. That does go a long way when you've been to the one in Rome, for sure.
Yeah.
Right, let's see what happens with that tray. I'm going to make a coffee before I start my quarterly calls. I've got a crazy schedule coming up now. Remember when I said I had the headaches? Honestly, the salt, like changing the way I was consuming the salt, because I was always having electrolytes, but the way I was having them was when I woke up, and then I was doing shred fast, and I was basically just letting them all out, because you sweat like a mofo doing shred fast. So yeah, switching that up, having salt in the morning, doing shred fast, then having electrolytes, headaches are gone. So if you were experiencing headaches, or I know some of you reached out and said you was, honestly try it. Good salt. I use Badger Gold. Shout out to Mark for the recommendation. It's like the purest, finest salt you can get. A little bit of this in your water in the morning. And then I have the Cadence electrolytes, which again I've shown before, not sponsored. But while I'm at it, I need to take these. Tonka Ali I'm on at the moment. So I did like a testosterone thing the other week. Well, I said the other week, it was a couple of months ago now. And it came back saying I had low test, which I kind of find hard to believe, right? Because a lot of the symptoms I don't have. I have to like, basically when I was younger I choked on an eclair. So I have to force tablets down my throat. Otherwise my head like tries to stop me swallowing it. That's what she said! Anyway, so yeah, I'm testing the water. I've been taking Tonka Ali now for like, I think I'm on 60 days or so. Then I'm gonna do another blood test and just check, because I don't really want to start getting on like TRT and shit like that if I can help it. I would rather see what natural stuff we can do. And I'm a big believer in a lot of natural things can cure many things, right? So yeah, I'm gonna make a coffee. What was I gonna say? Did I mention about testing something? Basically I've been going over loads and loads of data. Like I've been in data land, mate, the last couple of months. Because as you know, like trading's my main thing and it's been quite slow this year. Like not in a bad way in the sense of like, I've been blowing up loads of accounts and shit like that. Like I've just been sort of sat flat, up, a little bit down, up, a little bit down. And obviously when you're resetting like prop accounts and shit as well, or you're trying to pass new challenges, obviously I've got some taken away from me, previous vlogs, etc, etc. You need a little bit more frequency, if you like, a little bit more volume. So I've been going over loads of data, and I managed to find this like potential new continuation way of entering, because a lot of my stuff sweeps and stuff, and not always do you get a sweep, right? So I've been looking at that, and then I've also been looking at like TP, and one thing I really noticed is like I give a lot of money back to the market, and like on the level of capital I've got, it's actually a lot of money. Now I'm not trying to trade my P&L. But at the same time, like, let's not get it twisted. A lot of people trade to make money, right? It's an income stream too, right? So I've been looking at like data and potentially with TPs. So I'm going to start trialing that out as well, because there's no downside to it. Yeah, basically like I often target like 2R, sometimes more, depending on where we are and stuff. But like I leave a lot of money on the table, and just taking BEs, like some of my BEs, I look at the numbers that I've BE'd and I'm like, huh? So I'm actually looking at reducing some of the R on certain positions. Some positions, if they've got the right criteria, I might let run and trail a bit more aggressive. But the ones that don't, I'm looking to just get in, get out, because with the frequency that I'm now getting, I potentially will benefit more. There's a big part of me that had like an element of ego about it at first, and I talk about ego a lot, like it generally is the enemy. And a part of me thought like, oh, if I don't take a lot of R, for example, if I don't take 2R and I take 1.5 or I take 1, I'm a shit trader and I'm not very good at this and rah rah rah. And that 1 is incorrect, it's error thoughts, but 2, it's just preconceived beliefs because of previous communities or previous teachings, previous mentors, or even just like online in general, right? But then I really deeped it and thought about it and ran loads of numbers, loads of simulations and stuff like that. Which again, you can do on Edge Wonk as well with some of the simulations. You can run quite extensive stuff. I think I've shared it before, I can't remember. But if you're not on Edge Wonk, just get on it. Like, it's like being a mechanic and not having a tool set. Just, why would you? Anyway, and I've just been looking at it. I've been like really amazed by it, because some of the win streaks are huge. Like I'm talking like 10, 11 wins in a row, and like within a month, right? And you sit there and you think like, especially prop, because prop's a game, right? It ain't real trading to a degree. You get paid, you make money, you get paid, you request it, the account resets. So it never really scales and grows. So you're not always trading your profit as such. Sometimes like you would on a personal, you're literally trading a new account. And I was like, if I had the ability to just boom, boom, payout, would it be better off overall? Running the numbers, different gear, the money I could have made this year. So I'm going to just go for it. I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to give it a shot. There's no harm in doing so. I was keeping the Discord updated on this because I also like to share my thoughts behind it. This isn't a rash decision, by the way. This is based on the whole year and how it's gone. And I like to act after that period if things aren't really changing. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to talk a bit more about trading. I'm not looking to share edge shit. I don't care about that. But I can share different things that might help and benefit. And one thing I would say to all of you is like, make sure you really are vetting like optimal TPs and looking at how many times your trades run. Like a lot of my trades tag and run, but then depending on the fixed R, they don't always get there and they reverse. And if you take a full L or a BE, you can look at that and go, if I'm taking 5 or 6 of them a month, when you look at it, you're like, it's a bit mental. At the end of the day, a lot of you might just thrive better if you just removed beliefs that you've had planted in your head from previous people or things. So I thought I'd share that, because even for someone like me, who's been doing this a long time, I've landed on something that I can't ignore, so I'm just going to give it a shot, see what happens, keep you posted, document it, probably run it for the next couple of months, 3 months or so, end of the year, see where we're at, and I can compare, and that's the beautiful thing. It's all well and good getting the data, but then you want to do it live. You learn most live, you learn best live, and you'll get the best feedback live. So we'll see what happens. I'm not putting any expectation on it, but there are parts of me that are like, brother, you need to get back to being a little bit more active, and maybe I created an edge that was just a little bit too strict. It's not impulsive, but sometimes you've got to make decisions and you've got to be at peace with them, and it all comes down to accepting the decision you make, and what will be will be. So I'm gonna make a coffee, and then I'm gonna start jumping on these calls. So I will pick this up in a little bit. We're always told, like, get data, go and get data. But my question's always, how much is enough? You could get 10 years of data, but what if in 1990 your system was shit? Does that mean you don't have an edge and you should sack it off? That's the hard part with data. I think you need a certain amount to have confidence and evidence that there's something there, but then everything else is done live, like on the chart. I've got a good mindset. I feel great, right? In all aspects of life. But if I was taking 10 L's a month or something, or 7 L's a month, consistently just getting smoked, it would have an effect on me. Like, it doesn't matter how good mentally you are, there comes a point where you're like, hang on a minute. If I got an edge, or is there something going on here? And that's why I always say it's about vetting, is it the edge or is it you? And determining what's what. But equally, and this is the hardest part with trading, which a lot of people never come to terms with, it doesn't matter how good your edge has been, anything can happen, and a new loss streak can come. That's just like, the more trades you take, 50, 100, 200, like I showed in that sample size, the more trades you take, the bigger those loss streaks can be, because that's just maths. But it's amplified because on prop firms, 7 losses is like, oh my God, I'm fucked. And that's where prop firms will always have that, like, kind of hold on people, which is why I always say, like, having a personal, having Darwin, stuff like that, 7% in the grand scheme of it's nothing, but on a prop it is. So then you have to try and adjust and act and mold your system to work for prop, and mold yourself, because prop isn't, too many people have prop on a pedestal, like, oh, I'm a prop trader, I've got this much funding, I'm great, but it's simply a tool, but it's also designed that you don't win. Literally what you said there, you were up 7%, or 8%, let's say, you passed that phase 1. On Darwin and personals, you're up 8%. So if you have a loss streak, it eats into profit. But on a new account, on a phase 2, or on a reset of your live account, you go straight into drawdown. And that's why I said to you a couple of weeks back, you've got to zoom out and remember, you're actually BE, but your head's seeing it as, I'm in drawdown, I'm shit. And that's purely because you're seeing it on that account. And it's like I always say, like, I haven't got a book, but sometimes we're reading a book from here, you ain't going to see what it says, but if you pull the book away, you'll read it better. You almost have to do that with you, and understand that the situation that you're in is a lot better than you think, but you're just too zoomed in. Right, one call done, another one about to go down. This is what it looks like when you actually give a shit. You actually care about the people that you're working with. It's never been about numbers and money, it's just been about helping people. So if for any reason you're struggling, you're having a low point, you're having a tough year, you feel lost, you feel lonely, link in the description, get involved in the Discord. There isn't many spaces available at the moment, and that's not a marketing tactic, it's just I know I can't do what I do for too many people. So if you want to be a part of a wicked bunch, you know what to do. It's Friday and I'm just watching the chart, seeing what's happening. Even yesterday I was in that trade. I don't know if I updated the vlog on that. That was a BE in the end. I didn't like what it was doing. It was hardly moving. It was just stuck. As it ran that, it just, for the life of it, this little high over here, it wouldn't go up. And once it tried again and failed, I just went BE, because I was like, this trade is just looking stinky. Now, again, that's just discretion. That's just me in the moment, and I made a decision and it paid off. It might not have, right? But that's part of trading. Also, when you zoom out, remember I said in a couple of vlogs ago about how it had never hit the weekly open yet. And if you look here yesterday, so the weekly open never got met on Monday, never got met on Tuesday, never got met on Wednesday, and Thursday absolutely rallied through it, which makes so much sense with all this liquidity sat underneath. So I probably didn't pay much attention to the higher time frame yesterday, which, you know, it can happen. The game's the game. We're not perfect. Another thing I was thinking on is I've been pondering on this thing lately of, like, the meaning of life. Quite deep. Whoa. The reason I've been pondering on it is because you hear a lot of information, right, from different people, different sources, different books, different whatever, right? And the more and more life experience I get, and the more and more experience I get as a parent, and just this crazy journey that I've embarked on of doing this thing, which if you said to me 5 years ago you'd be doing, I'd be like, would I? I've learned that I believe there is no meaning of life. Now, that's not a neggy downer. What I mean by that is I think the meaning of life is up for debate and subject to the individual. Everybody's meaning of life will be slightly different. I don't think we should be focused on what is the meaning of life and then channel all our attention into that, because it will serve each individual differently. And I've learned this the hard way, because a lot of the people I used to follow in maybe the fitness space or in the YouTube space, or people that were just, you know, successful people that I resonated with, nice people, whatever, they were given advice from a place where their life was at that time, right? And what I realized is a lot of them didn't have kids. But now what's really interesting is now I'm seeing them all have kids. Their meaning's changing, their message is changing, their values are slightly changing. And they're also saying things that I used to say to them years ago, because I've spoken to some of them and I've asked them questions, and now they're saying that. And I'm like, hang on a minute, you told me the opposite back then, but it was because their sort of trajectory in their life was at a different part. So I think it's really important that you get your meaning of life from you and from your life, not from somebody else because they look like they've got money or wealth or success. Because if you allow other people to dictate your life, you won't ever be happy and you won't ever be satisfied. So it's really important that you get niche on why you're doing this and everything that you do. I think it's a really important thing. It's a thing that I've been doing a lot of journaling on myself, and that was kind of where I landed. So I thought I'd share it because it might help someone out there, especially parents. But yeah, I'm going to crack on my morning and I'll pick this up in a little bit. I'm just sitting here editing the vlog and watching the football, and I completely forgot to outro this week's vlog. It's been a very, very busy week. Just wanted to say, appreciate all of you. Hope you're having an absolutely fantastic weekend. Have a fantastic week. Do me a favour, it literally takes seconds. Just give the video a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe. It's free and it helps quite a lot. So I'll catch you all next week's video. Peace and love, gang.